A trembling young woman stepped behind the Grand Hotel's reception desk for what she thought would be an ordinary daytime shift. Before the afternoon ended, a quiet guest with a worn suitcase would leave behind more than a room key. He would leave behind a miracle that would forever change the course of her life. What neither of them knew was that one simple act of kindness was about to uncover hidden pain, forgotten dreams, and a future neither had dared to imagine. Before we begin, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances still have the power to change lives, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel so our family and our community can continue sharing stories that inspire compassion. Marissa Bennett had never imagined herself working at the front desk of a luxury hotel. She had studied business management and dreamed of opening a small family cafe with her parents, but life had other plans. After her father's unexpected stroke, the family's savings disappeared into hospital bills. To keep everyone afloat, Marissa accepted temporary jobs wherever she could find them. When the hotel's receptionist called in sick, the manager asked if she could fill in for one day. She smiled, straightened her borrowed uniform, and promised to do her best. The hotel lobby sparkled with polished marble floors, fresh flowers, and sunlight pouring through enormous glass windows. Wealthy travelers walked confidently through the entrance while Marissa greeted each one with genuine warmth. Although she felt nervous inside, every guest received the same sincere smile. She believed people deserved kindness before they deserved luxury. Just before noon, a man wearing faded jeans and an old brown jacket entered carrying a small travel bag. Several guests glanced at him before looking away, assuming he could not possibly afford such an expensive hotel. Even one employee quietly questioned whether he belonged there. Marissa never judged him. She welcomed him exactly as she welcomed everyone else. While checking his reservation, the hotel's computer briefly froze. She apologized, offered him complimentary coffee, and continued chatting so he wouldn't feel uncomfortable waiting. The stranger introduced himself as Julian Mercer. His calm voice and humble manners immediately stood out. Unknown to everyone in the lobby, Julian owned one of the largest investment companies in the country. Years of success had made him incredibly wealthy, but they had also made him cautious. Too many people treated him differently after discovering his fortune, so he often traveled without expensive watches, luxury cars, or bodyguards. He wanted to know how people behaved when they believed he was ordinary. Throughout the afternoon Julian quietly observed Marissa. She patiently helped an elderly couple who struggled with their luggage even though it wasn't part of her job. She comforted a frightened little girl who had become separated from her parents until they were reunited. She calmly handled an angry businessman whose reservation had accidentally been cancelled, refusing to answer frustration with frustration. Every kind act seemed completely natural. No cameras followed her. No supervisor praised her. She simply believed kindness mattered. During her short lunch break, Marissa quietly opened a homemade sandwich wrapped in paper. Before taking a bite, she noticed a maintenance worker searching his pockets with disappointment after realizing he had forgotten his wallet. Without hesitation, she handed him half of her lunch and insisted she wasn't very hungry anyway. Julian watched from across the lobby. He realized she had probably given away half of the little food she could afford. That simple gesture stayed in his heart. Later that afternoon an unexpected plumbing leak forced several guests to change rooms. Confusion spread quickly through the hotel. Phones rang constantly while impatient visitors demanded immediate solutions. Instead of panicking, Marissa calmly organized replacement rooms, apologized sincerely, and personally carried supplies to elderly guests who needed assistance. By the time the situation ended, exhausted employees quietly admitted they couldn't have managed without her. Before leaving the hotel, Julian asked the general manager a simple question about the temporary receptionist. The answer surprised him. Marissa wasn't even a permanent employee. Despite working harder than many full-time staff members, she was only filling in for the day because the company had frozen new hiring due to budget concerns. Julian thanked the manager and walked away, but he couldn't stop thinking about the young woman who carried everyone else's burdens while quietly hiding her own. 3 days later, the hotel owners announced an emergency meeting. Employees nervously gathered in the conference room. Then the doors opened. The simply dressed traveler from earlier walked inside wearing an elegant suit as executives hurried to greet him with respect. Gasps filled the room. Marissa stood frozen. She had unknowingly checked in Julian Mercer, the billionaire investor who had recently purchased a controlling share of the entire hotel group. Julian smiled warmly as he spoke about profits, customer satisfaction, and future growth. Then he surprised everyone by saying the company's greatest asset wasn't its buildings or its luxury rooms. It was people whose character could never be measured on a financial report. He explained how one temporary receptionist had reminded him that genuine hospitality came from compassion rather than expensive decorations. That afternoon he announced a new employee recognition program focused on kindness, integrity, and service. His very first decision was offering Marissa a permanent management track position, full healthcare benefits for her family, and financial assistance covering her father's ongoing rehabilitation. Marissa couldn't hold back her tears. For years she believed no one noticed how hard she worked. Now someone had recognized not only her effort but also her heart. Over the following months she transformed into one of the hotel's most respected supervisors. Employees admired her because she never forgot where she started. She encouraged struggling co-workers, welcomed nervous new hires, and reminded everyone that every guest carried an invisible story. Julian often visited the hotel, not to inspect the business but to witness the culture of kindness continuing to grow. Watching Marissa lead with compassion inspired him to create scholarships and emergency assistance funds for hospitality workers facing family hardships across the country. One ordinary afternoon had changed 2 lives forever. Marissa discovered that genuine kindness never goes unnoticed forever. Julian discovered that the greatest investment any leader can make is believing in good people before the rest of the world notices them. Before we finish, please leave a meaningful comment telling us about a time when one unexpected act of kindness changed your life or restored your hope in humanity. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. Remember, the person standing quietly across the counter today may become the reason your tomorrow is filled with hope, proving that the smallest acts of compassion often open the biggest doors life has to offer.